What's going on, everybody? Listen, I'm back again with the shits. And of course, y'all know I got topics that's going to make your head flip. But I got on a little bit early, of course, to get everybody the chance to get the notifications so that they can actually go ahead and come on in and partake in the festivities. It's only 7:13. I'm the only bitch present. We're going to find out who else going to show up to the party. As far as I know, I ain't got canceled. At least I don't think so anyway. What's going on, everybody? Listen. Oh shit, I'm just putting shit up on the screen, plucking shit and mashing it. And 6 different kinds of wrong. Mm, 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 mm. Oh Lord. Listen, I'm trying to get my seat right. You know, you be at church when you find to sit down, you're trying to get your seat right, even though it's the same seat, but you still trying to get it, get in the groove of things. Hey Ashley Love, what's going on, cousin? I am good. Um, a little bit more rested and ready to be with the shits and the shenanigans tonight, and have fun. Okay, okay. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Kima Candy says, "Hey cousin, what's going on, cousin? Yes, we is live up on the thing. Uh, tonight we got about one more minute before showtime starts because I'm not gonna be before y'all very long. I know that's a lie, y'all pastor tell y'all, but listen, I'm telling y'all the truth tonight because I still got some more biology homework I need to complete before 11 o'clock. So trust me, I'm not gonna be yanking y'all chain all night tonight. What's going on, Shamonique? Cousin made it in the room. Listen, she says she ready for the shenanigans. So am I. I've had a very productive day, a very productive weekend, seeing as though I had two, um, of course, days in a row off after a while. And I've been accomplishing a lot of things and shit. I got everything done, including dinner. So shit, I am, well, the roast is still in the oven, but it won't be long now. It won't be long from now. It's going to be ready to come on out of there, you know, and head down to the Last Supper and slice that motherfucker up and get it ready. I ain't put the trash out, and the trash man is out there on the damn camera picking up the trash. Now I'm gonna have to walk it like a dog back there to the damn trash bin because I don't want it sitting outside my door, and I damn sure want it sitting up in here. Um, it's 7:16. Shit, I've been talking and yanking y'all chain too long. All right, listen, it's me, your boy AJ Bed. AJ Bed. Now you know a bitch done had too much to drink. AJ Red, your boy, your homie, your friend, your cousin, your next door neighbor, maybe even your coworker if we fuck with each other like that. I'm back again with I guess shit. I've been saying cocktails with AJ Red, so that's what the fuck I guess we gonna keep calling until I decide otherwise. But listen. If this is your first time jumping up on this bitch or your first time joining the live, please make sure this is not your last time. Go ahead and hit the subscriber bell. You know, if you over on the YouTube, Facebook, and all the others we're broadcasting to, make sure to go on over there to the YouTube channel and make sure to hit that subscriber bell. Everybody else, hit that like button, of course. And share, whether it be on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or whatever. Share these videos, these lives. Listen, I'm back up in here. I had a couple of things I was working on and trying to get my mind gathered on topics and stuff real quick. And again, I came up with some stuff that I saw all week long that I did save, for me to go over and use as topics for the show tonight. Something acting weird with this bitch. But yes, so here we go. It's already 4 minutes in. I'm trying to lessen this down because I don't want to bore the shit out of y'all. So I want to lay around and get to the topic, get to the point, and get on to the thing. Because I know everybody got to go wash their ass so they can go lay down and go to work in the morning. I know I sure do. So anyway, first thing out the gate is Um, I have been watching on Netflix. There's a series called Monsters, and it's based off a true story with a set of brothers called the Menendez brothers. One of them, I think, name is Eric, and the other one's name is Lyle. And so back in the late '80s, they were very anonymous in the news, and the tabloids all over the world. Basically, they had finally been found out that they um, had brutally unalived their parents in their family home. Now, if you have not seen this documentary, because there was one or two already done in the past, because these people had, like I said, been convicted and put in prison ever since the late '80s, and they've never been sentenced to death or anything like that, but they were sentenced to, I think, a couple of life terms in prison. Um, the documentary is now on Netflix. If you have not seen it, it's one of the things that I've been watching, and I can honestly tell you, if I find it quite disgusting. And I remember this trial and these horrific incidents in which took place that were on the national news, that was being spoke about amongst the teachers and all that different stuff in the school halls and stuff, right along with the time, right before, OJ and all his shenanigans was being talked about. And I do recall it being on the news for a long period of time. And I was, as a kid, I really didn't understand what was going on. All I knew was that they murdered their parents, and I never knew like all the um, meticulous details as to in which why they did it. It was mostly described they did it because of the money. And looking back on it and watching the documentary, um, yeah. So the reason Kim Kardashian is up here is because there we go again. Kim Kardashian is up here because she is, I guess, watched the documentary. She and I are probably around about the same age, so maybe she kind of remembers probably about as much as I do from that portion of it during the live happenings of it. Um, she is now, she's been, trying to make this thing about getting out, getting people released from prison and things like that. So now she's calling for the release of the Menendez brothers, Eric and Lyle. Now, when I first saw that Kim Kardashian was asking for this, my first thoughts were, when I put this on um, the list, I was pretty much kind of ready to light into her and tell her go sit her ass down and think about fashion and just do her show and do stuff like that and just sit down and be quiet and be rich and act plain and dumb. But when I thought about it and I actually watched the documentary, mind you, I'm not even done with it, and I've come to a conclusion of versus what I was thinking before, of them being, yes, locked up for the rest of their lives for what the crimes they had done, or maybe even going further than that, unaliving them per the law. But when I watched the documentary, it made my heart melt so much for them as children, and how the torment that they endured, and what the parents put them through, the sexual abuse, um, the mental abuse, the emotional abuse. It was so horrific. And it's to the point as to where I cannot find a way to say that I agree with what happened to the parents, because my prediction of it would be, honestly, what I would see the end result of it is the parents actually being able to survive even those gunshot wounds or whatever have you, or the the whatever the children may have decided to try to attempt to put them under. I would have rather seen them live long enough for them to be the ones on trial for all the horrific things that they've done to those kids when they were children, so young as the age of 6. And there was so much more that was done to them, like I said, mentally, physically, and emotionally. They in my opinion, they really pretty much tore those kids apart. They ripped them to shreds mentally. And I will never be able to still find an excuse for why in which the boys decided to react to the parents. I cannot ever really agree with that because, like again, I said, I would rather see them now here standing trial. So in all of that to say, my decision was turned very quickly after watching the documentary, and I pretty much kind of agree with Kim Kardashian. They've been in there, I think, since 89, 1989, 1990, somewhere along those lines. And they've served a pretty harsh sentence. Now, listen. Now, I will say they be released upon the agreement of a good psychologist, psychiatrist, or therapist, and all that good stuff there, and they still be kind of like on a house arrest or something like that for a certain period of time to make sure that they're not truly what the doctor in the documentary said, probably sociopaths. I think that the mental exercises per psychology and whatever should be still followed before we release them. And then even upon release, I think they should still be like under some kind of house arrest so we can watch their ass and see what they're doing and making sure they're moving right. And even after that, they might not have to wear the ankle bracelet no more or something like that maybe, but we still watching, trying to, making sure that you are going to. So in all fairness, in my opinion, I think that should probably be more of the call, more of the reason, more of the confines of which we decide to maybe allow them to be released and back out there, out here in the society or in the public of people, and making sure they're not going to attempt to unalive anyone else. And I'm pretty sure not themselves, because they'll probably be too glad to be free. Yeah, Kima Candy, I kind of had to give it up too, because after the boy started snotting and shit at the table and talking about what the dad did to him, it's like I began to feel less and less remorse, unfortunately, for the parents and what all went down, because it was brutal. It was brutal. I can't even say the stuff I want to say because I don't want to get canceled, so I'm gonna shut up about it. But they mucked them up, I'll tell you that much. It was brutal. And if you want to see it, go over there and watch it. But I ain't gonna talk much more about it because I don't want to get canceled. But at this point, that is my ruling on that. And I'm gonna move on to the next thing, because it's already been a little over 10 minutes. All right. So Kendall Thigpen Watkins of McKinney, Texas, has been arrested and sentenced to life in prison after a failed attempt of murder-suicide. Oh shit, did I supposed to say that? Yeah, murder unalive, and I don't know. YouTube will call me about it or send me an email. But he tried to unalive himself and his 8-year-old son, and they decided to sentence him to life in prison. On that one, I shall say, I mean, do a mental exam, and maybe they've done one. I don't know. People, so much stuff is going on nowadays, and you can't really tell what is going on in a person's mind. But you got to really have lost your damn mind to really, and wait, there you go. Oh, he on this side. There you go. That's him right there. We don't really do that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? We don't. I think because of that, he should probably have life in jail, because for one, we don't do that. We don't like to do that kind of stuff. We have some issues and whatnot. We usually kind of work through them. Some people, most of us, but that's just not how you move. I think at the end of the day, I will always say, for anyone that chooses to do that to themselves, just do it to yourself, honey. I don't condone it. I don't fool with it. I don't think it's the best choice in life. But for you to decide to take someone with you that didn't choose that. I think that is selfish. Um, it really makes no sense. It's just another form of selfishness on both sides. In the act of that person, and I really find that it resolves nothing, and it brings pain to so many people. Which really makes no sense. I'm trying to be filtered, but not so filtered to where we can't get into the facts and the meat and potatoes of the shit. But with a name like Thick Pig, Thick Pen, or Thick Pig, or Pig Skins, or Pork Skins, with a name like that, I mean, what more could you expect from somebody that looked that crazy and winky-eyed, and fucking deranged? It's like, what could be on your mind at the time that you decide to do something like that to you and your child? You got to be a crazy ass somebody. I don't know if it was a hunger strike in this house. They had to cut the food stamps off. I don't know if the welfare check or the disability check was going wrong with I don't know what was going on. There's a plethora of things that could have led to the decision of this young man. But at the end of the day, I feel like there's no reason for us to to let him slide on some shit like that. And the child was autistic at 8 years old. There was no way that this child, I'm sure, not even knowing what was going on, and he probably thinking he was giving this kid the best out of life, or putting him out of his misery or some shit like that. That's not how that goes. If you so choose to do that with yourself, then do that with you. Don't do that with somebody else. And so, just for his stupidity alone, I don't think we ought to even call Kim Kardashian and ask her if she would go down there and ask for his dumb ass pardon. Because at least at the end of the day, after you watch that documentary over here with the Menendez brothers, you'll kind of get a better understanding, and you'll actually be able to have a little compassion for what happened, and be a little bit more, especially if you've ever been through any kind of abuse, especially as a child, or any kind of sexual abuse. I think that you would definitely want to have a different depiction, because those are things I think back then as a child I didn't understand. Now that I see it as an adult, and I'm pretty sure they change up stuff with the depictions and whatnot. But the bottom line is, at the end of the day, they should lock his jabberjaw looking ass up. He's sitting up. Listen, you wanky-eyed, janky, big-eared bitch. They should lock him up, because at the end of the day, listen, where was the mom? I don't know whether she was unalived, whether she's just out of their lives, whether she, I don't know whether she doesn't want to be bothered, or whether she was actually there present. And he just involved himself in the 8-year-old son. I don't know all of those details, but I still say I agree with them giving him life in prison, because this was a different, if the roles were switched, differently from the Menendez brothers case. This is actually the father being caught up because of the abuse he's inflicting on the child. And not only was he abusing the child, but he attempted to unalive himself and the child by way of hanging. Now, first of all, again, I don't know what he mixed with, whether he a half breed, but that ain't some black folk shit. I mean, they say they do it in prison, but we don't know how that really goes down. But I ain't never really known of anybody, out here, in the world, everyday world, not in prison, that chose to unalive themselves by way of hanging. Enough of that shit was done already. That's the last thing we want to be left with. That's the last legacy you want to see be left with when you check up out of here, is an image of you doing something like that, because you don't want anybody else to do it to you, especially those that have the desire to do so. So why in the hell would you taint our black history with trying to exit stage right by doing some silly ass shit like that? That is not approved. We taking your black card and we stamping the approval on them, putting you in prison for life. At least I am. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I agree with it. What else we got on here? The dude. Here we go again. This boy here, Brandon Dillon over there, I think in Atlanta. The veneer technician specialist is currently facing 8 years. I'm sorry, 8 counts of 8 felony counts in Fulton County for operating as an unlicensed dentist and veneer tech. Y'all heard about that when they picked him up and said he was, doing all that stuff, and they accused him of all those things, and charging the people $5,500 and $6,000, per class to come in and learn how to do some illegal shit. Only some, and the crazy part about it is, there you go again. There you go. The crazy part about it is, now he probably didn't even do his own shit, because look, it's all perfect, all perfect, and everything. It's all perfect, right? There were people that were also saying in the comment section, that's goody for them and shit, like, you know how black people get. They went down there and asked for a discount to get their shit white to go to their wedding and look good for their baby daddy and them, or their baby mommy and them, so they can flex on the hoes and shit, and go down there and pay that discounted ass price or some shit, and let a bitch lay around there, put some veneers in their mouth, and go around and flex on the people. And then soon as something go down, people are talking about, now they ready to sue. Black folk, because them the ones that ran down there for the discounted price anyway. First of all, because we don't be going for discounted every damn thing. You know what I'm saying? Toilet tissue, 50% off, dish pan soap or some shit like that. Or maybe even orthotics to put in your shoes or some shit like that. Maybe even your Raisin Bran. But as far as your teeth go, that's like, bitch, that's like sitting there saying, they offering 50% off on kidney transplants. Really? Someone going down there to so-and-so, that don't even have a license to do this shit, and let them give me the kidney that they found and stick up in here, and I'm supposed to live the rest of my life for all the rest of my days. Or somebody having a lobotomy, because that's got to be what the fuck you wouldn't have a lobotomy, to let somebody in your mouth that you ain't done no kind of research on. You couldn't have took no insurance, because if he was taking insurance, I'm pretty sure he would have had to call and give his NPI or something, his number, and make sure that it was within the network. So that means it was running down there, taking that PPE money, taking that storm money and all that other stuff, and going over there and paying to get them veneers put in, or that settlement check from that car accident, or that money, that settlement check from their baby daddy child support that they've been working on for the last 17 years. They finally got a little lump sum. So now she want to go down and get her teeth fixed and shit, so she can look good for the boys down there at the bar room and shit, and at the club and at the Bella Noches. And as soon as they see a motherfucker on TV talking about he ain't got no license, ooh, I'm gonna sue. Did you check to see if he had a license? Nope. And they say people had them raided the place. He had it set up like it was a real dental office. And say the dentist and shit was calling and reporting. And see what I'm saying? Your haters is gonna hate. Them dentists was like, I bet you Heavenly better not be. What one that Heavenly called and turned him in? Heavenly Kindness. Because they say the dentist in the area were calling and reporting him to the dental board, because he had no license, and he was doing these veneers, and he was calling himself a veneer specialist or technician and all this shit, and charging people to get them done and to come learn how to go out there and play in somebody else's mat and fuck this shit up. Now, this can go one or two ways for old Brandon, old B Rye. Um, One, I think they're really gonna lock his ass up. I can be quite honest with you. At the rate they're going and the way they talking and snickering and you know and kikiing and leg slapping and shit and putting all the words out there in the tabloid section and whatnot for us to read, they seeking some time. He listen. This ain't about to be no Donald Trump situation. No, 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 no. We're not about to have that. You went into dental. You went into health shit. And granted, it seemed like he was doing a good job, but people were saying that a month later he had to go to somebody else and get it paid for. That's because he probably was installing chiclets, bitch, in your mouth in the first place and just spray painting them white. But you was too busy, you know, under some kind of sedation or drug. You didn't really give a fuck. And it wasn't until you went down there to Red Lobster before they closed, the one in your local area, to get, you know, the special, you realized you had been hoodwinked, bamboozled, you know. And then him being arrested. And listen, if he get hit with all these lawsuits, even if he gets out of prison, he's going to be in such financial disrupt and corruption. It won't even make a difference because he gonna be down there up on the bridge somewhere, offering somebody a toothbrushing, a dental floss or something. I don't know what he gonna be on OnlyFans somewhere. I guess like Brashia Gray and all the rest of them allegedly over there, using them. Oh, wait, there you go. Damn, boy, I tell you, it's bad for me using them pearly whites to do something else other than eat red meat and fancy dinners and whatnot. He gonna be over there bobbing for apples over there at the prison because they looking to lock his pretty ass up. They don't behind that. Wow, I feel like my grandma. Ain't that some shit? Behind, you know, health shit, fraud and all that. Yeah, they will throw your ass under the jail. They don't care how pretty you are. He gonna be back there with Diddy and R. Kelly and them, and they gonna and he pretty too. They gonna do it to him a lot. But I mean, hopefully they don't give him a whole lot of time. But hopefully even if he gets out of this unscathed, hopefully he learns a valuable lesson. But the part about it is, people like him, what he has hustle. That's one thing you got to give the motherfucker. He got hustle. He just used it in the wrong way. If he actually took his time and actually went to dentistry school and got a degree, it seems like and knew all the ins and outs, maybe he wouldn't have people complaining about losing their shit, you know, a month after or 2 weeks after, whatever. Because he couldn't have been that fire and that good. And eventually he was gonna get caught. Because you're teaching other dummies how to do the same dumb shit you doing, dummy. So I think that he probably should have to pay maybe restitution to anybody that he's actually has taken funds from to teach these courses to. I think that people that he has done these procedures on and taken probably cash or credit card or whatever have you, debit cards, or maybe even, well, 9 times out of 10, he ain't taking no checks. I think for everybody who had their, you know, stuff fall out, you know, like Bird Rabbit or some shit, you know, I think they should be paid restitution. I think you have to pay them. The employees, well, the employees probably may have to some kind of misdemeanor or something because they worked up in there. They know that boy ain't had no MPI, no what they thing is, what's the name? I don't know what the dentist be having, but they know he didn't have any of that. So how did he even? The question is, after this was done, if there was any pain or discomfort, how did he get past this prescribing any medicine, or did he even prescribe any medicine? I don't know. But I will say this: he deserves to be punished. Hopefully, again, not too harshly because he got a pretty face, and they're gonna do it to him if he got to go to jail. Lastly, but not least, These little people is picking my last nerve. Um, I wanted to talk about this little situation here.
I hate dating in Houston. Let me just tell y'all about dating in Houston. First of all, if you know what's good for you, don't do it. When people start telling me, why am I single? I'm just going to be like, I live in Houston. I live in Houston. That's the answer, baby. It ain't no explaining from there. Homes of the players and the pimps. Okay. See, they ain't met Zach yet. Welcome and thank you for joining us for the second half hour of The Factor Uncensored. And apparently...
Now, I said I wasn't even going to do that piece, but I don't know. These bitches, I told you, they must be trained to be Olympians up there. And they Saudi Arabian or Arabic or something. I don't know. Them people usually ain't no kind of gymnast, is it? You have any? Well, oh, that sounded bad. Guess I gotta change that. Edit. But I said I wasn't even gonna do a segment on that. But that was just, if you know anything about Texas or Houston, Isaiah Factor, it's this black guy. He has a segment where he gets on and he just kind of exposes certain things. I have those hard conversations with different people on his platform, and I don't know if y'all really heard what it was, but the people were complaining about dating in Houston. Um, and they went on to say more about Houston ranked, I think it was eighth hardest or something like that to be able to date successfully, and I kind of like, I guess, find your forever or whatever over in Houston. Uh, and some people went on to say that people want to have situationships. Some people want to have, you know, relationships unconfirmed, or people want to have, just different kind of shit, just kind of like play the games or whatever. And I would honestly say, um, I agreed with some of that they were speaking in the interviews, and honestly, the topic itself. Um, some of them were saying that because they had panelists on. Some were saying that you know people like the spice of the variety of spice of life is a spice of life or some shit, and people just want to like move around freely and differently and stuff like that. People want something new, and I'm like, I agree. People usually do want something new. And in the words of a comedian, I cannot remember his name because he wasn't really big, but he was like, there is some new shit out there. There's a whole lot of shit out there. There's some shit out there that, the doctors is scared. There's some shit out there people don't want, what I'm saying, that I see on a regular basis. And that if you look at the statistics in your area, you will understand why you probably should be wearing a condom, even if you do decide to multi-date or do some shit, out of sorts. Because see, a lot of folk, and these are just my opinions. If you're thinking otherwise, please light these motherfucking chats up and maybe we can have a discussion. Now, I have an extended period of time and I plan on being on here no more than 45 minutes. But if there's a debate to be had, we're going to make that motherfucker. But at the end of the day, a lot of people do have those same sentiments I see daily on TikTok, Instagram, certain places like that. And in the end, I can say I'm so glad I'm not even out there like in a dating pool. That shit to me is so it just listening to the stories, the shit is so fucking difficult and so different. And even being out there, and people, I guess, attempting to try and date me, and I'm like, no, I can't. I'm occupied. I'm spoken for. It's just that some of the shit that you would hear that they will tell you in order to convince you, like, oh, I have a significant other, a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever, but you and I can have fun. We can be friends. No, I don't know. You're a friend that wants to fuck me at some point. You know, you want that, you have a goal. You know, you have something intentional with your friendship, and it doesn't seem that it would, you know, it would fit into my structure, or basically it would cross my boundaries at some point. But you're working towards something and stringing along something. You're looking for me to agree with the fuckery that you, in which, you know, choose to uh, soak yourself in. Not to mention, STD is on the rise, you know, all over the damn place. So at the end of the day, you know, maybe I'm not going to say that people would do best to find monogamy, but I will say that is an option. But also at the same time, even if you're a person that chooses to multi-date, and you're, because people have different ideas of what dating is, right? And no one can really say what the exact idea of dating is. So, but at the end of the day, it's different for everyone. So if that entails to the point of being intimate, you know, physically, um, the least you need to do is like protect yourself, honey. Because when I tell you, it's getting to be, listen, Mrs. Doubtfire, Bob is burning, whatever you want to call it. Just look at your local statistics. If you, and it's okay to be a multi-dater, but do it safely. It's okay if you want to, you know, get around town or whatever. Just at least know that person or do it safely, because at the end of the day, I guarantee you there are certain conversations that you would not be ready to have. Um, and that's why I'm kind of taking my time with this one, and probably not going to go as far as I want to go with it, because um, I don't want to cross any certain lines that would even offend anyone, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, the bottom line is safety is first. You find two, not to mention the guy, they were mentioning that there are so many websites and so many dating apps and all of this other shit. You know, at the end of the day, you know, people are, first of all, batshit buckshot, um, Beatrice weed wearing, church going Sunday morning, communion cracker eating ass, wine drinking, Bessie Bug crazy. So you never know what it is you're going to get off of any of these apps that you decide to meet someone. So safety reasons, of course, you know, even if it's over a long period of time, just because they won't, you know, crack your dome, and they probably crack your cakes, you know what I'm saying? They probably crack your cakes, but not your dome on the first few, you know, dates, or, you know, nights over, or even a couple of years together. But at some point, then you find out they is, you know, Woo side Whoopi Goldberg, Wu Tang Clan ass fucking crazy. And now you're stuck in it, and you don't know how to get out because you didn't do your research. It tripped me out of how people, now listen, y'all finna listen to my fucking record. This is how I'm gonna end this one here. It tripped me out how some people sit there and tell me, you know, I'm a health nut. You know, I look at all the calories I intake, I look at all the carbs and the sugars I intake, but you don't look, you look at the kind of stuff that ingests your body that would ensue fat, or diabetes, and that's a good thing. Don't get me wrong, all that is great as well, but you have to also be aware of your sexual health. But you mean to tell me you can go out here and insert, you know, several things in your stuff, and your stuff and other things? One lady said she thought that social media and stuff like that would be to blame. Um, I would say to a degree, we can probably give them a good, you know, piece um of the blame. But at the end of the day, as a person, mentally, think about it. what is it gonna do to you? How is it gonna work out? Is you gonna be man on fire? And I ain't talking about the Denzel Washington version or whatever the fuck that movie was. Uh, you know, uh, hot puss, whatever. Uh, you know, you have to think about everything, and um, I ain't trying to get too far into it, but anyway, check yourself out. If you if you ain't already, make sure you good. Go get your STI screening. That's for anybody. And and far as dating, I know it's hard, y'all, but be patient and just be safe. And eventually, everybody finds. Trust me. Everybody finds that one. Not I mean people will say they don't, but you have to think about your ass got to be doing something too. You can't be sitting up in the house watching Murder She Wrote and shit like that, and whack ass shit like that. You have to find a way, as some place to mingle. But um, don't give up on the dating situation. Just like I said, be careful. Um, Screen the people you date, have fun safely and stuff like that. So don't be afraid to date, y'all. It's not all is not lost. You just have to find that match and just understand that it will come. I mean, you'll get it. You'll get it. You know what I'm saying? So don't lose hope and all that shit. But anyway, um, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and check on my roast night shit and see what else is going on. And I'm right there 42 minutes. Well, I'm under 45. Listen, next Sunday, 7:15 live. Um, oh, excuse me. I didn't even drink that much. That's crazy. Um, 7:15 p.m. live over here. Uh, with me and the family and shit. Y'all need to share the channel and branch out. Child, this alcohol is getting to me. Like, subscribe, and share and all that good stuff. But remember to meet me here again next Sunday, every Sunday at 7:15 p.m. We go live and we have different things we won't talk about. But thank you guys so much for being with me tonight and sharing the love and jumping in the comment section and interacting. And just supporting. I feel like I really asked you guys for a whole lot, but you guys show up in such a big way, and I appreciate it. I see Facebook going wild with the lives over there. I've been checking the feed. YouTube is picking up. I think we're kind of getting used to the live still. So I guess I'm gonna have to go back to doing videos and merge that shit over to kind of bring people over or make it an equal balance. And Instagram and TikTok. So, but yes, let's grow the channel. That's what we're about. We're getting bigger as a family because I'm used to having a big family anyway. We're getting bigger as a family. We are almost at 5,000, and it hasn't even been 3 years. I mean, and I could have worked a little bit harder, but fuck it. I'm working hard now. So come on and share this shit with somebody else so we can sit down and talk the bullshit and have a good time and a good drink and a good night on a good Sunday. All right, guys, that is it. That is all. I don't have nothing else to discuss. My ass is lit, and this little Asian lady got my eyebrows up under the bottom, looking a little red and shit, cause she done fucked around and snatched my eyebrows off like 5 or 6 times, and then set me up to my son. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. No, I'm like, no, bitch, you still ain't fixed this part and this part over here, and it don't look even on this side or this side. It don't match. You know what I'm saying? She done laid me down. I ain't never had my eyebrows waxed like 8 times in one session. My shit was so swole, I looked like, ugh. I looked like I had a bee sting in the fucking face. I had a reaction or something and needed some Benadryl right before the show. And it's still looking a little red and shit all up in there. Yeah, she fucked me up real good. Mm-hmm. She fucked me up. And I had to come in here and still fix the motherfuckers and put some alcohol on there, and it burned so bad. I was in here crying like a baby, shit. It wasn't because I wanted to, but I had to. But anyway, guys, love you guys so much, cousins. Until the next video, later.